Hi, and welcome to this tutorial. This is the second tutorial in a series of two in which we show you how to integrate JD Edwards with Lotus Notes. In the first tutorial we showed you how to integrate JD Edwards data into Lotus Notes. Now I will modify my appointment and move it back to JD Edwards using the JD Edwards business functions. I'll start with adding some components to the canvas. We need some global variables because I want to have logging on what happens, and we use a unique ID to create this logging. Then we have a notes input to read the calendar data from Lotus Notes. I need a DB2 component to see if the appointment is a new one or an updated one. In this demo I just gonna process updated records. Then we need the mapping, and on the inner join it's an update, and we will export it to an advanced file output XML. We'll do a XSLT to modify the schema structure to the correct Edwards structure. We've separated this step because we executed from a sub-job normally, so I didn't modify it. And at the end we execute JD Edwards business function using some custom components. We've created some custom code to call a JD Edwards object. We'll be using the interoperability to execute these business functions. Now I can start configuring these components. First I'll set these three global variables. I have the request and the response. And I have my output. Then I configure my notes component. We'll be using diap to connect. I have created some context settings to speed this up a bit. We'll be enabling debug mode so we can see what actually happens. And we have this special view to read the calendar data from Lotus Notes. I prepared a schema for this. It's containing all main fields of an appointment, which are also needed in JD Edwards, including a talent key. This is the talent key we created ourselves when we inserted the data into Lotus Notes. On the DB2 component, I'll be using my query. This query filters on myself, so I just gonna interface myself in this demo. And we have the schema for this. This is the main and this is the lookup. Create a new output. It's called updated appointments. And we create this mapping. I will speed this up a bit. So now I've completed my mapping. I created an inner join on this instance ID to the Lotus Notes talent key, and I can continue with this output XML. And this is where my global vars are coming into. This will actually create a unique file name, and it will just store it for later logging. So now I can configure this XML tree. I will also try to speed this up a bit. So now I've created the XML tree and I've linked all fields. Now we can connect this to the XSLT. I'll use an if here, because we only want to process the information if there is something to process, and not create empty files, which will probably cause errors. I'll start configuring these. We also have an XSLT file. This translates the information into the JD Edwards format. We have XSLT files for several of these business functions. I have 3 parameters I will use. These are context values for user, password and environment. And finally, we can connect our Java flags to it and configure this. We have some custom code for these to execute the business function. And now we can run our job. Of course, we have to modify our appointment first. So let's move our appointment one day. And now we can execute this job. The business functions get executed. Here on the top we can see there are some business functions that are time zone conversion and for end user daylight saving time conversion. And at the end we can see the actual business function gets executed. Well, thank you for watching.